best while them also being the best players. It's something that doesn't happen very often because they'd have to be the best team and have it figured out and be consistent.
And you can't just say from Team L, you're only the best because there's a good patch for you. But other than that, you know, you're probably not as good as a different patch.
No, and I wouldn't say that. But I think there are, well, there seem to have been, especially over the last 18 months, there seem to have been certain patches that have, some teams have benefited from the changes more than maybe some of the other teams have. Yeah. At least to start with, anyway.
It's probably more hero specific, though, more than anything. Yeah. So everybody's a little different.
Yeah. Okay. Draft is underway for game number 2, so let's get into it. We've already had our 4 bans and an Abaddon first pick. Why are we seeing so much Abaddon first, do you think?
He's strong in team fights. He's pretty strong in lane. Aphotic Shield is great. His talents are maybe a little too good, you could argue. Maybe the whole, because like when his ulti gets down to like 25 seconds kind of a thing, that's just, it's kind of messed up in a lot of ways. And when your Aphotic Shield blocks 500 damage and then does a 500 AoE nuke on like a 4-second cooldown, that's a really good skill. Yeah. It's a really good skill. So yeah, there's some very strong things about Abaddon. He kind of covers a lot of bases too. You can split push with him. You can push lanes high ground with his passive. You can save allies that are dying. He covers a lot of things. Just doesn't have disable really. So. And
we are going to have another Baboka Monkey King coming
Might as well.
Might as well.
Yeah, Vitality don't seem too worried about that. But they did worry about the Lifestealer again, which is interesting. Yeah, so they don't want to let Burning do that.
You don't let Burning play Lifestealer. Yeah. I think the only thing that's interesting, especially about this, is that IGV didn't open with Batrider this time, whereas a lot of the other drafts they did, that's what they did. But I think if Abaddon's in the pool and you open Batrider, I think IG had the perfect response. It made Batrider look crap for the majority of the game.
Interesting. So IG lost the chance to have a lane after a second phase ban last time round, so they're going to pick it early this time. Yeah. Which allows Vitality to pick up Batrider.
And they have the counter against it already.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny to see that change up in first picks for IG Vitality, especially because, you know, they won the previous game, but still they felt like they struggled maybe a bit too much with that Abaddon versus Batrider. So I want to secure that for themselves.
But the weirdest part is that's 2 typical offlane heroes. So does this mean they have a support Abaddon now, which is not something we've seen often. And I think that it quite likely will change the hero maybe too much to a point where he might not be as strong.
He'll just die?
Not get levels as much?
The cool thing about Abaddon is like he's anti-disable. He's good against disable heroes. He's good against burst heroes. But he's not good against a crap load of burst heroes. Because once you like shield and nuke somebody, if you don't have a mech, you're just like, okay, hopefully they stay alive until my skills come off cooldown again. And if you're under-leveled, you can't really gank very well on the hero. So there's definitely a lot of pitfalls that just don't happen if he's played solo offlane. Because you get levels, you can be by yourself, you don't have to show up to fights. Like you're kind of consistent. So there could be some big pitfalls here with the Abaddon bat.
And is it then an Abaddon for dogfights or for super?
Probably super. He usually plays the more like passive 5-ish heroes.
But then you're gonna have a very starved Abaddon. Like at least dogfights might be able to get some gold off of it.
What is dogfights gonna do to his typical roam thing? I don't think Abaddon's good at that either.
No, but he didn't really do that on the Sand King either.
He just kind of died in the offlane and jungled. I guess he could just do like a duel. You're definitely right. They could definitely do a duel offlane. I think you're probably right on that. Give him a Quelling Blade maybe. Batrider Abaddon sounds pretty good. Make him tankier so that he can just dive. I could see that working definitely.
Would that force the Monkey King away from harassing other lanes?
I don't think so. Just keep killing dogfights.
All right.
Why change what works?
I think cruel but fair.
I think Abaddon will work fine in that lane, I suppose. It does reveal exactly what they're doing a bit, so IG will probably just make sure that their tri-lane's good enough at killing that. Monkey King's a good start.
Alchemist ban this time around.
Yeah, it's. I think the what was really cool about the Alch pick it was the last pick, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it just changes the tempo of the game so much. All of a sudden, it's like, hey, here's this guy that if you don't gank me, the game's gonna get really hard for you. And if we go late game, I'm gonna give Ags to all your heroes. And they had like all these good Ags heroes, like Sand King, Weaver, and CM, Batrider. Like, it made the game so different when the Alch pick was thrown in there. Yep. So it's kind of like one of those surprise picks. Don't let it be in there just in case.
And Vitality, their bans surprised at all?
Weaver
they
so far.
They banned Weaver themselves.
Yeah.
Not that weird. You need lockdown to deal with it. I'd say it's Batrider can deal with it a bit, but you definitely need follow up. And if you don't have follow up stun, then it's Batrider just can never kill or deal with the Weaver. So just basically Batrider counters, because they're lacking lockdown essentially. So IG is probably going to continue a bit on the burst damage, I assume. It can work effectively against a Batten if you have enough of it. So Jug's a
I was going
good
to say the
example.
Jug's probably the most likely to come out here, isn't it?
And one of the best carries to lane against Batrider as well. So a little bit of coverage. Jug plus Monkey King plus a third hero. Yeah, I think that'll be great.
Don't you think that the third hero will be Alina, or do you think it's OP Lina? Because
I think it's
last
OP.
time they played Lina, it was Q playing it.
Was it? Okay. I think it would surprise me a bit for them to go 1-2-3 for their safe lane, but I'm sure they could do both. But it'll depend on the next couple picks.
Yeah. Options over, and that's Super's Warlock right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's more looking like that Abaddon does go offline with the Batrider.
Yeah, most likely.
For now, yeah.
They got 2 healers now, which means IGV's.
They need a tank and a DPS or what?
I don't know that.
What game are you
equation.
playing now?
It's kind of nice though, just because whatever hero they have for going high ground, he's gonna have Shadow Word as well as Abaddon coverage. So should be pretty good.
Right. What type of core do you feel like IGV needs to go for here? Because it's going to be a very different game from previous game. No Alchemist already makes sure that's the case.
Something that can hit buildings is probably their biggest priority, so that they can make their heals actually effective.
Okay.
Terrorblade would have been perfect. It's obviously banned though.
Yeah.
Even like Centaur or something could have been completely fine. But I wonder if there's like a ranged hero that would be beneficial this game, like something fairly survivable against diving, because they have to worry about like Monkey King and Omni Slash, but maybe range something. I like the Legion pick a lot actually. Like basically whatever IGV picks for their core right now is definitely going to be vulnerable because they've got burst damage to back it up. So.
But the heals, not enough?
The heals are generally not enough against like Blade Mail, Legion duels with like Alina in the back. That doesn't sound fun. Something like Shadow Demon would be amazing here for IGV, but they're already committed on supports, so.
Is there a chance that Sakata play Batrider? I mean, it's not really. I haven't seen him do it, to be honest.
There's no way this game against Jug and Legion. That's 2 heroes with solutions against Napalm. It just would be a shit show.
Right, so they kind of locked them in with that Abaddon pick.
Yeah, they really did. They thought about. They're thinking all about the Abaddon Batrider situation, and now they've kind of put themselves in this box. I'm not saying it's not necessarily a bad thing, because Abaddon's actually fantastic at helping against duel, just because it's a lot of HP swing with the shield and the nuke. But whoever gets dueled, if Abaddon's not close, it's going to be a little bit scary for sure. And maybe even something like, I think a mech is pretty justified this game, considering how burst heavy IG is right now. I would really like to see something like that. That was a big problem that IGV had. The Monkey King ulti comes out, everybody takes a bunch of AoE damage, and they're all dead. If you throw a mech on top of that, maybe they stay alive long enough to get out of the ulti and continue contributing.
Oh, well, they're taking their time. And they go for Morphling in the end. So there's your ranged with a bit of survivability, with an escape.
Tons of armor. This is a really good pick. And you can morph when you're dueled, so just keep gaining HP. As long as you have a little bit of backup, it'll be really effective. And again, this is the last time we saw Morphling. It was Morphling Warlock. Just solves Morphling's slate lane issues, which is usually easy to harass. Sometimes runs out of regen too fast because he hasn't finished his like boots into bottle or his boots into Ring of Health.
I do love
really
the reactions of the players when it comes backwards and forwards. You see a pick happen and then you see the team captain, and it's sort of like,
Yeah.
It's like a realization of, I didn't think he was going to pick that, but then he has, and now that's made it. There was a wry smile, for instance, on Q's face when it went back to him on the previous pick, and he was like, damn it, I kind of figured they might go that way. It was almost like I get it now, and then they do it the other way around, and the other team react, and there's like a cheeky smile or something from one of the picks. So it seems like they're playing with each other a little bit. We're going to get a Puck and a Rubik.
So that would be an OP Lina. Lina versus Puck?
Oh, is it Puck?
Potentially.
Yeah, I guess it is, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it has to be, actually, doesn't it?
I really like IGV's draft. I think their last 2 picks really rounded out what they needed. Hard to kill cores that have good burst damage, gives them lots more options for fights. They can high ground with Morph. Yeah, it was good. I like it.
Excited for Sakata's Puck. That should be fun.
Ooh.
Should be fun. We watched a fantastic first game from Sakata. What can he do with the Puck in game 2? Let's find out as we head back to our commentary team. Dakota, it's all yours.
Thank you so much, Paul. Here with Fog back in the caster's saddle, if you will. Again, can't emphasize how important this matchup is for both these teams.
Absolutely. Just
flirting around being in the top of the group and going into the upper bracket, or being in that lower bracket. Plus, more importantly, bragging rights at the IG lunch table.
Yeah.
Now,
that is exactly what is the IG launch table.
Now, it is
grouping.
a bit of an interesting draft here. They already mentioned it a bit at the panel.
Yes.
The Abaddon first pick, obviously they were very excited from what they saw from IG with it and how it was able to sustain and do so much work in those team fights. But have they put themselves in a bit of a pickle following it up with the Bat Rider and really what they're going to be able to do with it?
My one concern with IG Vitality is like their lack of real lockdown. It's like the Puck and the Bat Rider have a lot of the onus on them to be the catchers. And like IG also does have like a good amount of like burst and things, but again, it's going to be a lot on this Monkey King's initial early roam, how much he can really do, how much can he pressure, and how much can he give space for this Legion Commander to get stuff. And the nice thing about Legion Commander versus Morphling is that he's actually able, if you do get the duel off pre-morph, Morphling's actually not able to get the morph because it is a mute and a silence. That is the one thing. I think Kevin may have actually just been saying that if he does get the morph off beforehand, then you are able to.
That's true. You will keep morphing, but which can happen. You'll see the blink in, let's say, and you just quickly hit that morph button before the duel goes off. But if it's the Legion commander able to get the surprise jump onto the Morphling and gets that duel before a morph can happen, then like you said, it will mute and silence.
However, Morphling tends to be a Lincoln's builder, and then you're going to have to go for some type of like halberd or something like this onto the Legion Commander, so you're able to break the Lincolns before you go for the duel. So we'll see how like prominent it really goes. And actually taking a look at the heroes, is that Q playing Legion Commander?
That is currently Q, their support player and captain on the Legion Commander. So that's interesting. Baboka, of course, on his Monkey King.
XXX is on the Rubik. XXX is on the Rubik.
Now, I would likely... I don't know. What that says to me is maybe it's Q has more experience on the Legion Commander. I mean, I don't know. Is this a kind of game where you favor getting a core Rubik?
I don't know. I mean, he has the press the attack to remove the lasso and everything for that, and then move like the silences if he's in the proper position for it. But
when did we last see that? I distinctly remember seeing Lanham jungle like Legion Commander
Lanham,
from time to time. Now, that's not to say that this could be an immediate jungle Legion Commander. They haven't picked up any items yet.
They swapped.
So it's hard to say, but okay. Well,
they now swapped. I was like, whoa, what?
All right. So order is restored, at least on the side of IG for that one. And what about IGV here? They ran out those last two picks very fast, that Rubik, and then a Sakata Puck. Puck, we've only seen a little bit here at DAC. I think the most recent showing was in the hands of EG, but even in that case, they had Universe playing it in the offlane matchup here. What about this warm welcome back to a mid lane Puck?
He's gotten, the recent buffs. He got the +3 damage in the last patch. He's gotten a couple other ones just to increase his use because the hero's honestly not been being played too much. I don't know if he actually, as far as I know, he does have a little bit of a jaunting issue. I was playing him recently. It does sometimes stutter. A few of the times, I don't know if it works. Maybe they may have fixed it in the last recent hot fixes. I hope so. I didn't see Universe really missing any jaunts either, so it is definitely one of the possibilities that they did fix that. I would like to just touch on to IG Vitality's lineup just because of they have a massive amount of team fight when I really look at it compared to IG. IG has more of like this split push, go for like these pickoffs. We've been seeing the Bloodstone into the Shadowblade Lina. We'll probably see the Legion Commander as well go for like similar type of items. So it's going to be a little bit of like a different type of game both teams are playing. I want to see if they do like every team that's picked Morphling, I believe so far, they've got an aggro tri-laned. And I think that's probably what IG is going to do. So we're going to see how the lanes actually end up being set up because I think we're going to see a lot of like dodging. That's like the name. I think that's like the name of this tournament though. Yep. People have just been like switching the way the lanes are actually done. It's like you see a Morphling in the off lane, 1v1 versus a carry hero, and you're like, oh, yeah, I guess that's just what's happening now because people are just adjusting so heavily.
Yep. Now, as you just credited Vitality, and I would agree, they have a tremendous amount of team fight and could bring forward a very impactful mid-game. But let's say for whatever reason it doesn't work out for them, maybe the laning stage doesn't go so well, IG are kind of on the up and up here. Is it a bit concerning that then it would be all the pressure on the Morphling to kind of pull back in the late game? We've been seeing more trends of just going back to the core mid-laners. This feels like it is all on the Morphling to kind of pull it out in the late game.
That is the one concern that I was going to touch upon. Yeah, single core Morphling is painful, but they do have the fatal bonds with the Puck, so they do have massive amounts of AoE, but it is a support Abaddon, so he is not going to be that massive skill, more than likely not going to be that massive skill in Abaddon. We'll hold their tongues a little bit for now, but...
Does Injuly have jungle items there? No, so
they're going to dual lane, I think.
They're just going to dual lane it straight up. All right,
I would imagine.
We don't see that too often here, but yeah, because we've been seeing a lot more of the core Abaddons, the ones being able to take a lot of the early farm.
I think it's a good approach. Like when you're playing the support Abaddon, you feel like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? Like, here, I'll shield you, man, go. Like if you dual lane off lane, like you cause pressure, you force experience, you're able to farm on your own too. Bat Rider's a hero that can always just leave, and he's just like, okay, you can now just take the lane for yourself. I'm gonna jungle, and then that's how they do the efficiency thing, like I was talking in the previous game.
Okay, well, it looks like they are, at least on the side of IG, going to be sending the Legion Commander towards the bottom lane here to
So they are doing
get
an
that
aggro.
matchup against the, you know, potential Bat Rider lane.
Mhm.
And then, as you said, yeah, an aggro lane set up here for IG. Best part of the IG Baboka Monkey King is what the hell is he going to do in the early game?
Turn into banana, that's what.
Turn to banana, run around, try to find a courier kill. This guy always brings out some fun shenanigans right out of the gate. I am a banana. What are you going to do?
Oh, there we go. He got the courier. He's like, sweet, 350 movement speed.
Well, we'll walk back with it for now. Usually on Radiant side Monkey Kings, they love to be able to get that spring approach and go for
Oh,
the top
this is
bounty
cool.
run. But
There's a little bit. They showed the Baboka walks in. He shows himself as the banana. Now they go back and they smoke. He's got the primal spring leveled up. Looks like they're going to go for just taking that top bounty run. I don't know if IG Vitality wants to even contest this at all. They're expecting that type of aggression.
they're waiting like way back in the lane for now. They might eventually slow creep their way there just to see if they can get a glimpse if there is going to be that kind of pressure. But it looks like they kind of want to avoid the trouble altogether. And it could be IG just claiming up 3 easy bounty runes here.
Yep, and the dodges as we were kind of expecting. Bat Rider moving toward the top lane. He's going to be facing versus Burning. We see the Morphling moving bottom toward the Legion Commander.
All right, does that mean the Abaddon will be going cross-country here to join the Bat Rider? That seems likely here. So, all right. Looks like all the lanes will begin to get in their settled place here. And we'll have what looks like a 2-2-1 initial setup here from IG, with Baboka eventually going to take his journey down to the south.
I'm going to be keeping my eyes a lot on this mid lane. I'll be taking a glance like elsewhere, but I haven't really seen the Lina versus Puck matchup in quite a while. Now Puck with the recent damage buffs could fare pretty well.
Yeah, has the classic early null there.
However,
Dial it out.
OP does have a mid lane ward, so he does have the high ground vision, slight advantage. Top lane, first spin coming out onto dogfights, breaking the shield.
Dogfights obviously in game number 1, just was continually punished over and over again in the laning phase, but the Abaddon now should be able to at least hold his own a bit, and Boca doing his lane zoning thing,
And
swatting at the Morphling.
I was going to say this, this is actually a little bit fearsome for IG Vitality. They swapped the lanes into a manner that they kind of wanted, but now they're like, with this Monkey King bottom, Monkey King Legion Commander versus Warlock Morphling, Morphling is going to severely suffer every time he steps up to try to get a last hit. Primal Spring into a overwhelming odds.
Yep, and
Here we go.
Yo!
A little bit off the mark, but same thing. He's got a poor man shield. He's able to just like soak up the damage, and they can't really pressure him too far off.
So it looks like a good head start for IG, as it would appear, here in the bottom lane, allowing XXS to get a good initiative and be able to pressure back the Morphling with the Baboka dancing through the trees. The head start for that mid lane, by the way, does seem to be working pretty nicely for Lina, 9-0 now, but Puck is getting the wave back on his side.
Yeah, getting himself multiple fiery soul stacks because he really was spamming his Dragon Slave to keep that up. And then with that range advantage, he's able to get a couple more extra right hit because of the lane ward that he does have.
Contention, of course, towards this pull camp here in the top lane. Burning not looking to let them take this one too easily.
I think IG feels very.
A bit.
I think IG feels pretty happy with this.
This is good. This is content. Mid lane seems to be going pretty well. Burning and company are able to contest the pulls in the top lane, and obviously Monkey King's able to be that presence that actually has forced what looks like a bit of an audible call here. We might see some minor rotations actually coming out from Vitality. At least they've stepped away from the lane for now, but it might be just to pick up the bounties, because that's the best farm they've been getting.
It's concerning. The Morphling actually can't get anything. He's already has an Iron Talon put into his quick buy, so he's feeling heavy pressure coming out from this IG draft.
Yeah. Now that with Baboka adding that pressure in the bottom lane, he might begin to take his adventure elsewhere and try to make things even easier for IG at the head start of this one. But XXS, as you can see here, very content, but Baboka's back.
As soon as Paparazzi comes back, Boba goes like, hi. But he heard the Primal Spring. He's able to juke it out a little bit.
That's fine. Baboka will just do his best to kind of smack him, force him back.
He's got the items now on the Monkey King. He's got his Poor Man Shield. He's got his Over Venom.
3 CS at the moment right now for Paparazzi, though. That is tough stuff, and he is just weaseling his way through the trees, trying to creep in. Like, can I get that 1 CS? Nah, I gotta wait for him the hell out of here. Freaking MK.
Jesus, it's already looking extremely one-sided looking at the CS board. 20, 16, 13 into 11, 11, 3. All 3 lanes going heavily in the favor of IG.
What do you do at this point? You can't just let this happen and develop. I don't know if you can make the audible call to change the lanes again, pull the extra assistance away from that top lane if you're Vitality. It's tough. Baboka, just keeping him back.
They're already starting to do some type of solutions. They're like, okay, Abaddon, you're up there alone. In July, go jungle. We have to try to maximize something. They're going to have to swap Paparazzi up there eventually.
Yeah. Burning able to kind of shrug dogfights off, and between him and Q also. It's 19-5 for Burning. I mean, dogfights is doing okay, 13 CS, but it's the Jug who's kind of really winning this lane right now. Yeah, this is going to take something from Vitality to kind of change the rhythm right now, because it's feeling pretty sweet for IG.
Yeah. This is the nice thing that Super's been doing in the jungle, stacking up for in July.
Yeah.
That's why he kept resorting to going back, yeah. They're not really going to be able to clear both of these camps too effectively, since he's didn't really get too many sticky stacks on the left side, but
I suppose they'll probably still just go back and try to get the initial drums build up. But hey, everybody, how's it going?
Team jungling, Baboka's like, hey!
Right into the three of them.
Uh-oh.
Maybe overconfident?
Oh, the Centaur stomp.
Okay, then. Animal friends come out to assist him. He jumps to the tree and down, and now he's suddenly pulled the attention of even Puck from the mid lane. The guy is a headache. Able to just kind of weasel his way in there, and Vitality have done a bit of a rotation now. In July is now joining this bottom lane at a fresh level 3, and Paparazzi is going to slowly wiggle his way probably up towards the top. They've even left him a bit of this neutral camp residue, if you will, to kind of clean up.
He can barely even kill those. He's uh-oh, careful.
Oh, pull back on the dogfights. He goes right for the TP, but the Fade Bolt will secure the finish there. First Blood going to be going the way of IG.
Very concerning. I'm trying to think of the solutions for them, and it's pretty much Sakata just needs to get involved instantly when he hits level 6, but where does he go? They don't really have any other hard lockdown, hard damage, pretty much anything across the board for themselves. It's just going to be Sakata trying to solo make these moves around the map to try to recover for Paparazzi, but whoa.
I mean, do you think this is just a victim of the Vitality draft, or is it just the way they tried to do the laning stage? Like, had they had this bit of information from the start and just put their pieces elsewhere, could this have been totally avoided, or is this a victim just with the picks they had?
I think it's a bit of a victim of the way the picks they had, but then also I think they would have been better if they just did the standard lanes. I think this time that they kind of like played themselves in a way. They were like, oh, this is the lanes we want, and then they get there and they're like, this is not the lanes we want. They're like, wait a minute, this is just way too much pressure. We can't really secure our Morphling. Like, look at this, Paparazzi, Iron Talon. He doesn't have the Iron Talon yet. He's just jungling as a Morphling.
Here goes Baboka. One smack, but that is not going to do it. So he knows it's over. Heads back the other way. They have warded up that southern couple of camps here on the Vitality side. So without seeing Paparazzi in that neighborhood and not in any other lane, Baboka knows that he's probably farming the jungle at the top and is already on the pursuit to try to stalk him. But Paparazzi's already back inside his base. Here we check out the top lane. Burning eating a couple of stacks, but still very unthreatened here. 34 and 11 CS for him. Only being outshined by his fellow Legion commander and his OP Lina. Burning now looking to commit in hard with the Blade Fury. Baboka also shows up, springs on in. They put their sights onto In July, who takes to the skies, but he's not going to be able to make it out. Gets smacked from the stun of Baboka, but it's Burning who will secure the last hit as IG claim a second kill.
Whose TP was canceled? I saw somebody started a TP and instantly canceled it. I'm assuming that was the. I'm assuming it was the Puck. But I don't see anybody else with any gold, so maybe it could have been Super. I don't want to imagine Paparazzi would want to try to TP up there. So.
Puck doesn't have a TP in hand and had the coil, so I don't know, maybe hoping for a potential turnaround play. But that coil is going to be committed actually here in the mid lane. But
nice play by OP. Instant TP out as soon as the coil is expended.
And no flame break, obviously, on the Bat Rider. He might not have even been able to be there in time, even if he had it, but whatever the case may be. Crisis avoided, and now everyone, don't worry, there's no coil to worry about in the side lane. So look at this, XXS still grinding his way here, and it looks like he is slated to go straight for a Blink Dagger. So that says to me that they know they have a strong initiative, and they might just try to accumulate as much dual damage as possible early on. I don't know. They have burst potential. Blink, dual, tag it together with an Omni Slash or Laguna. Those are some easy finishes.
Yeah, they've got. I mean, they're dominating all three lanes. Like, it's not even like they're winning all three lanes. You look, and it's already almost a 6,000 gold lead in 8 minutes.
Like, try not to make it so emphatic that it's definitely one-sided. But hey, see you later, dogfights.
OP with the first rotation.
That was a drive-by, I think. I'm pretty sure I've seen a drive-by like that in Harlem once. That was nuts. Just insta-shot down, 3-0 now. IG just
now pressuring towers.
Away.
Yeah, pressuring the safe lane tower, getting some access points into the enemy jungle. Baboka has already been kind of hopping around there doing his own thing, but now it's going to make it even easier for the rest of them to get in there. They're already starting to put some aggressive wards down. As you mentioned, Baboka blocked the right side camps way earlier, so the farm is completely limited on the outside of IG Vitality.
Paparazzi's been sitting in his fountain for a while. Okay, he's finally like, where am I going to go? Where am I going to go? Okay, bottom lane. Seems fine.
Level 4 at 9 minutes.
It's tough. highest farmer currently for Vitality is their puck, but they need a bit more firepower if they want to be able to get the most out of that momentum, that team fight. And Paparazzi, of course, supposed to be the one true late gamer for them.
That's such a detriment, though. Like, their damage is going to come from the Fatal Bonds with the puck and the Bat Rider kind of coming across, but the Morphling and the Abaddon aren't really going to be too prevalent at all. And the IG just too far ahead. I mean, it's going to be so hard for them to really pick a fight. It's going to have to just be them catching IG off guard, but...
Well, one tower down. Burning's like, I'm good with that lane. I'll head to the mid instead. Starts going right toe-to-toe here with Sakata, knowing that he has that Omni Slash in the pocket to always threaten with.
Time for the next tower.
Yep. Well, he's there, though. Baboka nearby, scouting out the near trouble. Possible threats.
They just saw the Firefly was burned, so they know they have some time before the Bat Rider can come
they're creeping in well behind the tower here. You could just see the body language here by Vitality, just so concerned, just coupled by each other, waiting way behind their towers, waiting for opportunities for it to be safe.
Dogfights ports in, but okay, he is level 6 now. All right.
Insta-borrow time the second he does show up to play. Nice
coil
onto 3. Burning goes for the Blade Fury. As they try to hustle back, it's Vitality able to finally get the kill on the board and possibly looking to make it more here. OP is going to get brought down. And the follow-up could be there. Burning slowly being crushed away here. Sakata needs one more slash. Will eventually get popped. The Boca could be next here, but the duel comes out, but it's a lost duel, and it's going to be handed over.
Paparazzi coming in.
Paparazzi comes in, is able to claim one. Burning hands over his 3 times killing spree, and even a buyback was forced down for Baboka. Whoa, that is a 5 for 3 trade, just as we were harping on Vitality for really looking like a non-factor in the early game. They get that done. Let me see this replay.
I don't think they expected Dogfights to be 6. Burning commits the Omni Slash, trying to kill him there, and then they all get caught by 3-man coil. I mean, it's beautiful 3-man coil into 3-man Fatal Bonds, and then they just get run on top of with the shields, with the Bat Rider having Firefly back up, and with his ultimate online too, and then with the upheaval coming in the backsides. Look how they can't run. They're like, no.
Such a shame Baboka's not level 6 for that fight. If you're IG, could have just laid in the monkey ult for that kind of approach. But
Paparazzi came out of nowhere too.
He did. Showed
he picked up a haster and just
lost duel as well, I believe, handed over to the ABBA. So he's got free 10 damage to work with.
That swing from almost a 7,000 gold lead to IG to about 4,500.
Just cuts it right
for
in
IG
half.
Vitality.
All right.
The caster cursed.
Well, Baboka now level 6. IGV able to kind of hold their heads a bit higher here, feeling like there is a second life for them through this early game. And back to the grind for IG. It looks like that Blink Dagger is completed now for XXS. So we'll see if you can try to get back on the dual path and make things right.
Yeah, that was literally just them not expecting. Yeah, Dogfight just with an excellent TP baiting out multiple spells, causing IG to go too far in, and now IGV going for their own smoke rotation, trying to put some pressure, secure Paparazzi's farm. They have the Warlock ult up, they have Firefly, they have Lasso, they have Dream Coil.
Ooh, but also a smoke comes out from IG here. Is that Rubik level 6 now? I mean, that rock could get stolen here. Telekinesis, pull up, into the duel in. Can they get the finish, though? Yes, they will. Duel going to be awarded. But now a follow player. A Lasso pullback here, looking to go for a little Q, and they get it done. Paparazzi will try to finish that one off, but they will end up awarding the kill elsewhere here. Now IG taken to the high ground, going right into the enemy shrine territory. Baboka going to end up forcing back, but he plops down his ulti. Dogfights. His own ulti will also be triggered here as the borrowed time. And they will step off a bit, looking for the free gold there as they claim the golem. All right.
Pretty good. Rubik for Puck and a golem and Firefly. Why do I keep saying Firefly? For Len Lasso.
And now a duel back the other direction here as it looks like pressure is going to be on from IG towards this bottom lane. No Rock was committed, right? Oh, no.
No, Rock was
they
committed.
did kill the golem. But they will definitely have to pump the brakes now. It looks like as far as the pressure is coming from IG. Well, IG know they can kind of take a fight. Omni Slash up and ready for burning on this one. And they're looking to take it right to the tier 1
Good
here.
steal. Now he's got the full max level shield up for Q.
And he gives it right to burning.
Probably one of the best. Actually, I would say probably one of the best steals that he can get this game because it's versus a Bat Rider, so he's able to remove the Lasso if he's in the right position.
Right.
He's got like no cast animation.
May need it here, possibly. Burning does dish out the Blade Fury, and will step on away from the possible threat.
He has a lot of good spells that he can steal. All the pucks, Bat Riders, Abaddons,
Yeah,
Warlocks,
still
even
morph.
Morphlings are great. Yeah, everything across the board is very good for the Rubik this game.
IGV now able to kind of still throw here. with IG after what felt like an extremely crippling start. Mid
Lane.
lane.
He gets the
duel
morph
out.
off. He gets the morph off pre-duel though.
Yep. They're not going to be able to get the finish. The Laguna even to try to do it.
No
Can
mana,
they
though.
still get enough for it? Yes. They'll get it done.
Yeah, he full morphed up and he couldn't waveform. No mana.
Try to hold on. Seems so close, but with the assistance, of course, coming in from OP, blast him down with the Laguna.
At least he had quick reactions, you know. Gets the morph off pre, so it forces them to have to expend a little bit more, take a little bit more time. But nonetheless, IG able to just brute force this bottom tower since they know there's no golem up still for a bit more time. Oh, and Ninja actually gets the deny there.
Even with the stun coming out, they try to make sure they can slide that one in, but no.
64 damage from the Batrider just prevails versus 140. A little bit lucky, but nice timing from him and Dogfights to attack in unison.
Now, for what we want to see from IG, is it every time like Laguna and duels off cooldown, is it try to take fights? Any chance you can't?
I wouldn't say fights because we said like IG Vitality when they have
rather.
everything online, they go pickoffs.
Yeah.
It's got to keep running around together, these two.
And it looks like they may,
And they might actually
see
Paparazzi. Oh, he's only got
Invis,
780 health too.
but he's morphing right now. Maybe they can wait for
600.
him to stop. And that's what they pop the ult. Hi, how you doing? And
He gets the morph off again
yeah,
though.
but it will prevent the duel damage being awarded, and it will prevent the gank. Real nice.
Damn, getting the morph off and having the raindrop to actually end up saving him. That was really well played again by Paparazzi.
And look at the turnaround here. Coil on the OP, trying to make a retreat here. XXS from the tree line, able to help him out a bit, but the chase is still on here.
Stun a bit off the mark from Baboka, but they're still able to escape and burning. Running around in circles, chasing dogfights, unable to get proper vision of him to get the nice Omni Slash, and also there's a couple creeps there, not allowing him to do so. And Sakata looking to go for the greed, since they feel like maybe they're just at like a bit of a back foot, ends up going for the Midas.
Midas
First item on puck. Not the Veil that we do see sometimes that some people like to go for, not the Blink, for the Midas. And they're also going for Midas on a Baden as far as I saw before. Oh, just kidding. He switched it. He put it into a Dominator recipe now.
All right. So he is going to be going possibly into that more utility kind of a bad build-up, at least for now. But, all right. Minor tussle over the bounty rune here. Baboka wants to tease at them a little bit, but is going to be under the watchful eye of Vitality if he remains in that position here. Back to the grind, though, for IG. But we do have a fresh duel up as they want to continue to pressure the Vitality jungle, it looks like, knowing that they put a lot onto the shoulders, the watery shoulders of this Morphling. They don't want to allow him to kind of breeze through some easy farm period here.
Yeah. It's going to be really nice when XXS has the Blade Mail, because then that's going to be, like, even if he gets the morph off, he will die.
Yeah.
He'll be able to get bursted down
through it. Is he looking to go for that? Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Okay, he's actually just
shy
of
of
it here.
it. Yeah.
Right after this camp, be able to pick it up.
So he's going to go Blade Mail, and then I guess he could go for the Halberd this game. It's like he needs something to be able to break the Morphling's Lincolns, which is going to be coming out, if he wants to go for something like that, or maybe he has somebody else they have to just bring the Rubik maybe for the ganks in a couple of the situations.
What would be the other option then if he doesn't go for the Medallion Crest kind of a build-up? Like favoring a damage instead if you're LC?
Oh, the Halberd I was saying.
Oh,
for
you
Legion.
said Halberd.
Yeah,
sorry.
because he needs something to be able to break the Lincolns. I mean, if he wants to be able, like, if him and the Lina want to be able to make like their duo ganks come out, that's the best way for them to be able to set it up for the duels. I think that. I mean, it depends on how he wants to be playing with it. Does he really want to just be going for those, or does he want to be able to be more of like a team fighter in the later stages? Or is he just going to play around pick off? We'll see what he opts to go for. OP gets his Bloodstone finished up, going for that Shadow Blade, which we've been seeing very often on these Linas.
She's already going to be insta-respawn territory now. We're getting that level 10 talent.
IG, all their ults. IGV, all their ults are up, looking like they're trying to start some action. They know that they do have what it takes to take the team fight. But ooh, beautiful scan coming out from IG. They predict the movement from IG Vitality, and Burning just gets back. And now the smoke coming out in response from IG.
Ooh.
This could be a nice clash here.
Trying to flank and maybe catch Vitality from behind, who are already committing in deep. Looking to go behind the tower here. They may have spotted Burning, and July goes right up to him. Catches him with the lasso and the pullback. But Boca's there. Hits him with the stun, but that's when the Rock is going to get dropped. Jump in duel. Is going to get the connection. Can't they get the finish? Yes, they can. It's going to be in July going down, and now the focus is going to be around the Abaddon, and they will zap him down with the help of the Laguna. On the other side is Sakata and Baboka going toe-to-toe, and Sakata, after the bit of a jaunt, will end up coming back and getting blasted. 4-man takedown. All credit to that IG scan, reading the situation and setting up the play from behind.
4-man takedown, and all ultimates expended from Vitality. and they get nobody.
That's crazy.
That's a big testament right now.
I mean, what was even the sustained power outside of maybe a ward that would allow him to shrug off all that damage, or was it just misfires from Vitality not getting the best connection possible?
Healing ward, and then they just, they weren't able to get the proper connection, and the Rubik stealing Golem in the fight.
Oh, yeah.
Able to just turn everything around.
Good read there from IG. Will allow them to take right back and just go right through an easy tier 2 tower. Burning will farm a bit more, and then peace on out. He sits currently at the top of the net worth, just OP, and even their LC right behind him. Uh-oh.
Duel coming out. He's got the blade, but the morph was not used pre-duel. He kills him so quickly.
Easy solo kill right there. Paparazzi now not feeling safe in his own neighborhood. He's going to have to get some of those supports out there to get some wards down so they can have a lay of the land, know where is safe and where is not, because right now, nowhere feels safe. Here comes IG now, just doing that bit of a pressure, taking out the objectives here, just not allowing any sort of potential late game for Vitality, man. They're going to go running right through these tier 2s and just starve them out. Fights trying to dance around with them, but there is no say in that. They pull off, and they might as well just do coast to coast, go all the way up north, and do the same in the top lane.
Looks like, they spot a stack in the meantime, though.
Oh, how delicious.
We'll take this one.
Lots of extra free, delicious, juicy money.
Oh, Morphling's TPing in. Looks like they're trying to get an engagement going off here.
Ooh, quick to step out, though, is IG. Baboka.
Puck has his Blink Dagger here, but unable to catch anyone.
All right, force rotations here. That's when Vitality will get the wards down, take that jungle back, and Paparazzi will take his business down to the bottom lane, find their space there. But IG, a team on a mission, still not stepping away from their top lane objective. In July, trying to creep in from behind on this one. IG just coasting through the lane, and they're going to see if they can flank onto him with the coil. Oh, instant deny onto the Lina, who will come and TP right back into the fight if she can. Meanwhile, though, IGV a bit up in arms. The duel goes off. Can he get the finish? Yes, he will. More duel damage going to be awarded in July.
Was the Lina even low?
I mean, she just gave up.
No, I think he just used that.
Canceled?
He's used it to save Burning. Burning was going to get bursted down there, and he just suicided to heal him up with the Bloodstone. Oh. I didn't actually. I didn't get a chance to see how much health that the Lina had, but I know that Burning was about to get dropped down. Rock
yeah,
committed.
She had like near full life, so that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
I was watching the Lina on that one. And didn't see that Burning was so low, so that makes a lot more sense.
I was
Happy
like, Burning's. I was like, wait, what the hell just? I was so confused because Burning was like almost dead, and then he just full healed. I was like,
yep.
There's no cheese. Right. Yeah, Bloodstone heal. Very well played there by OPQ, using his rock there because the cooldown was about to drop out from his steal. And now they go for Roche. Yeah, that was. I mean, he has instant respawn. He doesn't have boots of travel. His TP was on cooldown, so he wasn't able to join into the fray of the fight right away. But saved Burning.
Yep. And now they're going to be able to double back and go right in for the Roche and claim the Aegis here with really no threat at all. Concerning here, 14-6, top 3 net worth, all still belonging to IG on this one.
With a multi-core lineup as well.
Multi-core, near 15k net worth advantage. This is looking tough for IG.
It's looking very hard for Vitality.
Yeah. Well,
the Legion Commander sitting on 3,000 gold for himself now. Lina almost finishing up the Shadow Blade. Burning pretty close to the Manta style with the Diffusal Blade, so he has a massive amount of damage potential from him and survivability.
Man, this feels so much like the IG versus MP series, where game 1 was such a back-and-forth tussle, IG coming up a bit short in it, and then this game they come back emphatically and take it objectively right to him. Just wipe out all the outer towers immediately.
Baboka's got vision of this. He's sitting on the trees. They know he's there now. In July spots him.
Ooh.
Baboka's jumping around. His Primal Springs down. Duel coming out. Doesn't get it on Cicada.
Might have to settle, but that's when the rock comes out, but he already had the BKB. Laguna's going to be there trying to go for the finish.
3-man stun.
But the stun's there. Can they sweep it out and finish off the rest of IG? Turnaround coil connects onto 3. The orb will help get the finish onto the Legion Commander, but that's when the Fable comes out, and they clear through the next couple of Vitality members as 3 will drop for the exchange of 1. Top lane Burning, slashing at Paparazzi, who's going to be forced to TP away in the back of the Morph Wall. You see
Super gets run down. And here come the big hits.
This
1,
is a slow,
2,
painful death.
3.
Spanked.
Yep. Bastard finished up on Baboka before that team fight as well. IG just feeling it.
Just a monster power peak right now.
So commanding, yeah.
For IG.
15,000 gold lead. Take a looking at the experience, just about the same. We get a chance to. It doesn't. The fight recap actually didn't. Only showed the Warlock dying there. I think I missed the initial one for myself.
It's nutty, man. And here IG just can't stop, won't stop. The amount that they have going for him here now towards the mid lane with just everyone trickling back into life now from Vitality's side, but I imagine they have a lot on cooldown, so there is really no threats here for IG. Paparazzi sliming in from behind. Can he make it back inside safely? I don't think so. Gets caught with the stun and blasted down from the Laguna. He is out of this one. No buyback for 45 seconds. This one could be over sooner than later. People from the high ground here.
July is stuck in the tree. His Firefly went down as he was in the tree.
Oh, no.
He's just stuck there.
He has to wait for the Firefly to come back up. This man doesn't have a blink. 6 more seconds before he can weasel out from that little trap. Burning's like, I'm content. I'll move in. Heals on up with his ward and dishes it right onto the tier 3. July's going to be back to the skies now, free from his prison. Fatal Bonds will be dished out. Burning will go for the finish on the back end of his Blade Fury. Will be able to get it, plus a borrowed time. Going to be popped on this one, and they're going right for the racks. And
instantly
quick cancel of the lasso. Wonderfully done from the LC. Monkey King ult's going to fly out, and they're looking to go for the nail and coffin on this one. They quickly take out both Sakata as well as the Warlock. The racks are going to be going down. Game number 1 was a close one, but this one seems to be all IG. Well, the series is all IG, but this one's just IG.
Yeah, this one, I don't think that they can come back from this, even if they're able to like swing it and wait for a long time. Yeah, Morphling just gets blown up again anyway. And this should be IG just closing this one up with another set of racks.
Well, it's 1-1. I don't know who's going to get the bragging rights at the lunch table, but I guess for both the IG members, I guess happy they got a win off each other. But that game 2 was one of the more dominating performances we have seen here at DAC.
They got, I mean, Vitality seemed like they got the lanes that they quote-unquote wanted, but then they were like, these are just not, this is not possible for us to do anything in all 3 lanes. The puck was doing pretty decent versus Lina, but Lina was coming out ahead. Yeah, just losing all 3 lanes, and then, I mean, their carry Morphling was level 4 at 9 minutes. I think that says a lot, right? Even though they had that nice little wombo combo in the mid lane at the river, not enough to come back with IG just reading the movement from Vitality too. That one smoke prediction too when they scanned them, just IG all over the place for this one.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much this helps things out for IG as far as securing a better spot to get into the top of the group and make it towards the upper bracket of the playoffs here. But for Vitality, it's definitely a bit more concerning. They were already just falling a bit behind where IG were, and now could be at risk of being stuck into that lower bracket, being sent there from their own brethren. Got to be a bit unfortunate. Probably a lot to take away from that one. Maybe second-guessing a bit about their values on that early pick for the Abaddon. I mean, they saw the value out of it, but we'll have to see what kind of lessons they're going to be able to take away from this series and apply it moving forward. That will wrap things up for us. Why don't we go ahead and throw it over to Paul and the panel and see what they thought about that game number 2.
Yes, thank you very much, Fogged and Dakota. In the end, I guess, it's probably what we thought would happen. It's 1 apiece between the 2 IG teams, with the IG, are they called the main team? I don't know. They're just called Invictus Gaming. They win the second game of the 2. Shiva and Purge back with us. Shiva, what do you make of it as a series?
They're 2 incredibly different games.
Could almost have been 4 different teams playing in this match, couldn't it?
Almost. I do feel like Baboka Monkey King was still Baboka Monkey King, so he was he was there. He showed up. I just feel like the laning decision from IG Vitality in the second game just ruined the game for them. They couldn't rely on an alchemist that was going to get farm anyway. They needed to get a little bit more out of that laning stage.
Yeah, obviously having something to fall back on like an Alk would have been great, but I think it was just they got in their own heads with the draft there by forcing them into these dual lanes with the Abaddon Bat. Dogfights did not seem comfortable. Kind of seemed like the first game with Sand King, very similar. This is the one really good fight that they had going for them, despite being so far behind in net worth at this point. Sakata almost getting another rotation of his silence off here as well, but and the duel as well to save the Monkey King was amazing, but with Morph in the back lane here. It's really the only good fight that they had.
Yeah, it was the small blip, because at that point they were struggling. I think there was 7k down in gold and there was 3-0 down in kills. They were already looking like they were on the back foot. They win that one, but then that was it. That was the only highlight they had.
That fight almost worked, but I think it's slightly on the puck. He should have silenced the Jug before his spun, before the lasso ended, and either way, there was still like a double rock that and a lot of AoE stun. The Monkey King stun into the second rock was tough, but yeah, they were really far behind even before that last engagement. So yeah, their lanes just had to go better because they didn't even have a chance to try to go equal here.
We criticized the Rubik a little bit in game number 1, but I think this game Q definitely had a lot better game. He stole some nice ultimates, also including Warlock ultimate at some point. So had just a better game that showed already in the laning stage. And I don't think that IG Vitality, they didn't have a team to come back from as big of a deficit they were at.
Yeah, it just felt like a completely different game. Just they messed up their picks, and they didn't. Nothing really happened, and once they got to mid game because of like healing ward and the general good team fight from Monkey King.
So we still don't really know who's got the upper hand.
Nope.
They've just left us hanging here, haven't they?
With the
so,
tie,
We need IG versus IGV take 2.
I mean, we might get that,
We might.
Yeah.
depending on how they do.
I mean, if you average like how good both teams did between two games, it looks like IG is a better team. But game 2 just simply looked like the laning stage error. Not that different than one of EG's games yesterday, where they had bad lanes and had a really tough one. I think Liquid had a similar match where they had weird lanes and it made the game hard, but they still got it close. So. Yeah, it's definitely the thing that you have to be very careful of when the new patch hits. That you don't outsmart yourself, that you don't put yourself into bad lanes. Think that OP heroes are more important than having decent lanes.
Take a look at the stats in a moment. Does it also confirm, Kevin, that the suspicion that we kind of had yesterday, which is that if you place people on their comfort heroes that are still within the meta, and you've got solid lanes, you can win the game still? Because it seems when teams have kind of gone outside where they're comfortable of, or even specific players have gone outside their comfort zone in terms of hero picks, it hasn't worked well. I haven't seen one really so far where you thought, oh wow, that's a new thing for them, and actually that's worked.
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, especially for heroes that kind of come in out of nowhere. Monkey King hasn't been in the patch very long, hasn't been in captain's mode very long. If you take a player and you force him into this role and this hero that he hasn't practiced much, especially in a tournament setting, it's really tough sometimes to adjust in time. It takes a very talented player who ideally already has a very wide range of heroes played. So dogfights, for example, Cap pointed this out when we were eating, and I really agreed with what he said. He said taking dogfights out of a roaming position where he's really good and putting him in a lane, it seems like he falls really flat there, and I definitely agree with Cap's assessment, because when he's playing his roaming heroes like Earth Spirit or even like Monkey King or something, I'm sure he's going to do really well. Yep. But if he has to play like Sand King in a lane and he's supposed to always go to his lane, he's making a lot of mistakes and he's dying more than he should.
Yeah, definitely had 2 poor games in these games, but yesterday was good. So, bit of 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. MVP for this particular one, Shiva?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think I kind of want to say the Legion Commander XSS.
Yeah.
He was everywhere at the right place at the right time. Sure, giving dogfights to Jewel might not have been the best choice, but at the same time, that was the only fight that they lost. So
yeah, he had good intentions behind that duel, trying to save his friend, and then Morphling showed up.
Oh, actually, talking about saving your friend, suiciding with the Bloodstone Lina was also pretty good to save Burning on the top lane fight. There was some sacrifice happening there, but yeah, XSS, I'd say. He just had solid performance, and he doesn't get a lot of spotlight. I mean, we talk a lot about Baboka, we talk a lot about Burning, but this guy is actually one of the offlaners that he's just solid. He will not be the most flashy person all the time, but he will not underperform a lot either. He's just a stable player, which is really important.
Yeah, I mean we've seen 2 very, very good games from offlaners today. Universe obviously in the first series as well. Have we underestimated their influence on the latest meta?
Oh, there's no way in hell. Offlaners are really good right now. There's so many heroes that just impact team fights, and large variety of heroes. You can do 1v1 matchups, obviously, but there's a lot of good offlaners right now, like Centaur, stuff like that. Yeah. Other Centaur-like heroes. Yeah.
Other Centaur-like heroes.
Team fighting is important. Magnus. That's what I meant. This stun offlane.
Even Earthshaker coming back with
we saw an off shaker earlier, so that was very good. Yeah, very enjoyable. Good. Okay. Thank you very much. We are going to move on. Of course, we have 4 more series today, and another one is just around the corner, but we are headed to a break. We'll also give you an update this afternoon after our 3rd series of exactly where we are in both groups to keep you abreast of all that's happening in that chase for the vital top 2 spots. We'll see you soon.